So you want to kind of approach these. Cross multiplying is an option the way it's set up, but that wouldn't be too much of an issue. But this times that would get kind of ugly. So this is a prime case to where multiplying by the common denominator would be your best bet. So 2x times x plus 1, we see that this is the common denominator because it includes this, but it includes also the 2x. So if I multiply by 2x times x plus 1, and multiply this side by 2x times x plus 1, this entire thing cancels with that entire thing, and I'm left with just the 6, which is nice. This cancels with this. I'm still left with that times this, but that's doable. 2x times x is 2x squared. Times negative 2, you have a minus 4x. Now you still have this 6 over here until you subtract the 6 from both sides. Now it's a problem similar to what we've seen in the past. You can take out a 2. You're left with x squared minus 2x minus 3. That will factor. The 2 out in front doesn't give us another solution. But if I factor to be x minus 3 and x plus 1, that'll give me these numbers up here. You plug that stuff, set it equal to 0, you have one solution as x equals negative 1 and x equals 3. If you go back to the original problem and plug in negative 1, you have an issue there. You have 0 in the denominator of a fraction. That is an extraneous solution. So my solution here is 3, and that's the only solution that I have for that one. When you come over to this last one, you might approach this and say, oh, that's definitely a common denominator thing, and it sure could be. But I'm going to do it again like I did just a moment ago. Take out an x, you got an x minus 1. Your common denominator is x times x minus 1. If you multiply both sides by x times x minus 1, these cancel. Okay? You cancel the entire denominator. The only thing you're left with is the 2. This now cancels with that. You're left with an x times a 1. Boom. No cross-canceling or cross-multiplying necessary. That's just straightforward, straight to the answer you're looking for.